April 20th meeting of the School Board of Charlotte County is called to order. The business that we conduct at these formal meetings enables us to carry out our mission and our vision of student success. This evening we are going to have Terry Whitaker, Director of Food and Nutrition Services, lead us in the Pledge to the Flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dr. Gaylor, are there any additions or corrections for this evening's agenda?
Yes, ma'am. We have three. We have one addition, which is an item under F1F, out-of-state travel for an FFA trip. And we're going to remove two items, F1I, which is the Seminole County Medicaid Administrative Claiming Data Management contract. They need to update that, so they're going to send us a new contract. And then we're going to remove item F2D, which was a placeholder for our contract for Lemon Bay High School.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we add item F1F, and we remove items F1I and F2D. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next, we have three reports. Dr. Gaylor.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. If the board will join me down front for these three reports. While you're doing that, I'm going to call Doug Whitaker, who is our Assistant Superintendent for Learning, to the podium, and he'll be accompanied by Charlotte Miller from FPL. We have two awards that FPL is giving to two of our finest teachers, and I'll let Doug and Charlotte explain that.
Good evening, Mrs. Seifert, board members, Dr. Gaylor, Cheyenne. It's my pleasure and privilege tonight to ask Charlotte Miller to come to the podium. Charlotte is the area manager for Florida Power and Light, and she has a very special presentation to make to two of our L.A. Ainger middle school teachers, and their principal is accompanying them tonight. Marcia Loudon is here as well. So, Charlotte?
Thank you so much, Doug. It's always a pleasure to be here and see everyone. FPL's had such a wonderful partnership with the school system through the years, and we really look forward to it for many more years to come. I'm delighted to be here tonight to present two teacher grants to Dominic Pizzatelli and Andrea Green. This past year, the Florida Power and Light Group Foundation created a teacher grant program for projects related to renewable energy. And we introduced it to all schools within our 35 county service territory. And tonight, I'm really excited to present two of 47 awards which are being presented. As you know, we're very large proponents of renewable energy, and we feel like this is one avenue for the teachers to be able to create curriculum with renewable energy as a focus, because we feel like the next generation is really going to need to understand the science that's related to renewable energy. So I would now like to present checks to Andrea and Nick. If you'd come forward, would you like them here, there, where? Oh.
Go ahead and present the checks.
Okay, great. All right. Nick, I'd like to present yours for the Why Row Your Boat When You Have Solar Energy. And the focus, I understand, on Nick's project is to create an avenue for students to race the boats and understand solar energy as related to mode of transportation. And then Andrea, I'd like to present your for your solar car races, yes, and which the children will also race cars instead of boats, but still solar related, and learn factoring efficient energy conversions. Yes. So we truly appreciate your interest, and I was telling Nick earlier, I wish I were in 8th grade so I could come participate in these projects. They sound like a lot of fun, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Go ahead and follow them.
Okay.
we can step in. Perfect. I'll get you guys ready up front. Just make sure you can see me. If you can't see me, your head is hiding behind Charlotte there. Okay. Everybody look right over here. And 1, 2, and 3. Hold on, one more. 1, 2. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great projects. We have some of the most talented and creative teachers around, and thank you, Nick and Andrea and Charlotte, for sponsoring the grant through FPL. Our next report is Child Nutrition Professionals Week, and we always look forward to this report, clearly. And I'd like to call Terry Whitaker to the stand here and take us through this wonderful recognition of Child Nutrition Professionals Week. Terry?
Good evening. Thank you so much for this opportunity to address you, Madam Chairman, school board members, Superintendent Gaylor, Attorney Young this evening, and our esteemed audience. This is a wonderful opportunity to honor our child nutrition professionals on May the 6th. That's a Thursday coming up throughout the district. Several of our Champs Cafe staff members are with me this evening, and you might have noticed them in the middle of the room here. And we would like to share a few interesting facts about our efforts to provide and promote healthy meals as our contribution to the district's vision of student success. As of Friday, April 16th, we have served 599,604 student breakfasts and 1,822,655 student lunches. Those numbers mean that each day, on average, your Champs Cafe staff serve 3,919 student breakfasts and 11,913 student lunches. And those average daily numbers, nearly 16,000 student meals, translate into 3.6 miles of end-to-end serving trays per day coming past our cashiers. And that's nearly the distance from this building to Neil Armstrong Elementary School, which is about, 9-10 minute drive. We've had another banner year celebrating Florida School Breakfast Week with our customers in September, National School Lunch Week in October. We welcomed our special guest performer, Jill Jane, our rock star nutritionist, with her Jump with Jill show at 3 of our schools in December. We promoted vegetables through our Vitamins and Veggies Week in January, and we've been focusing on reducing sodium and developing a wellness wall of information at the Academy with our 4 visiting dietetic interns in February. And last, we welcomed our state auditors to review our program at 2 schools in April. If you have been watching the Food Revolution television show on ABC TV about Jamie Oliver's work to improve school meals in Huntington, West Virginia, you know several of the issues that he, the food service staff, and their customers have been dealing with. Jamie Oliver advocates proper food. I'm not saying that with a British accent like he does. Proper food, wholesome food, proper cooking, and cooking from scratch. I'm proud to tell you that many of those issues we do not face in this district. We eliminated frying nearly 15 years ago and have greatly reduced the quantity of potatoes offered. In fact, you will rarely see French fries on our menus. We offer potato wedges, roasted potatoes, and even baked potatoes along with potato gems, which are really tater tots. Jamie Oliver has pointed out the extra calories found in flavored milk, and he advocates the choices of strawberry and chocolate milk in the Huntington schools be eliminated. We in Charlotte County have never offered strawberry milk, and for the last 6 years we have only offered white milk at breakfast at all our 20 schools. And yes, even the high school customers only have white milk at breakfast. We do offer chocolate milk at lunchtime, but our overall consumption of milk throughout the day is 36% of our students, our customers, even the staff, select white milk, and then 63% select chocolate milk. I was really pleased that on one recent show, all the children in one elementary class were selecting white milk, even though the strawberry milk was offered to them. When Jamie Oliver asked the children why they were selecting white milk over flavored milk, they said their teacher had encouraged them to take white milk. That reinforced what the Champs Cafe team and I have been advocating for some time. There's a great deal of power in what is said to a child by someone whom they respect and have a relationship with. Their Champs Cafe servers, their teachers, and their parents. encouraging through teaching why we should make certain food choices, setting expectations, and then following up on what choice the child made by having a conversation with them. That is shaping behavior. And that's how change is accomplished and good habits are developed, so it does take a village. If you've been watching the evening news, there's been a focus on the role played by high-sodium foods in damaging our personal health, affecting our blood pressure, contributing to heart disease. Just this morning, the Washington Post released information indicating we'll soon have national standards phased in over 10 years for reducing sodium in certain types of foods. We, too, are concerned about sodium in our foods, and we want to share with you and our community that we're proactive in this area, too. Thanks to nearly $100,000 of our commodity entitlement from the government that's allocated for fresh produce, we offer many fresh fruits and vegetables to our customers every day. So our program offers very little in the way of high-sodium canned vegetables. One example, at this point in the year, we have already served more than 36,000 pounds of fresh apples. We have offered 2 servings of vegetables to each customer at lunch for several years. Following the regulations, most districts allow the students to select one vegetable or the other, even if 2 are offered. But we know that vegetables are low in calories, and they're low in fat, and they're packed with vitamins and minerals. So we exceed the regulations by encouraging our customers to take a serving of 2 different vegetables every day. Broccoli is a customer favorite now, and I have to thank Mr. Swift for wearing his green broccoli jacket this evening. And this year to date, we have prepared more than 15,500 pounds of fresh broccoli and almost 10,000 pounds of frozen broccoli for a total of nearly 13 tons of broccoli. And the school year's not over yet. Each week, our students and staff select nearly 35,000 servings of a variety of vegetables. Cooking from scratch or actually combining ingredients to create a product is becoming a lost art, but not at Champs Cafe. Our recent auditors were so impressed that our bakers prepare from scratch. There are nearly 14,000 whole wheat rolls and 3,000 whole wheat cinnamon rolls that we serve our customers every week. Our bakers also prepare spice bars made with sweet potatoes, fruit crisps from ingredients, and the more than 50,000 servings of whole grain, old-fashioned oatmeal served every morning at every school every year. Our cooks make their own sauces and then prepare lasagna, spaghetti, and baked ziti, as well as preparing chili and filling for such entrees as soft tacos. And we actually prepare roast chicken, roast turkey, so far about 10 tons of roast turkey this year, macaroni and cheese, and other homemade products for our customers. My overall message for you tonight, we strive to routinely provide healthier meals to our children than they get at restaurants or convenience stores or even at home in some cases. Our food revolution is a quiet one, and one that we fight every day for the health and well-being of our children so they will develop lifelong healthy eating habits. We understand that our relationship and connection with our customers is paramount to getting our nutrition message across to help students make wise decisions. One way we connect with our students is by celebrating events or concepts through our promotional days. The staff members who have joined me this evening have dressed in some of our costumes for promotional days to demonstrate how we have fun, generate excitement, educate, and encourage while serving healthy meals. As you will see, our marketing efforts don't cost very much, so that's a win-win for our customers and our program's budget. So first this evening, we have Craig Smith, and he is wearing his school spirit shirt. Craig is our manager at Tarpon Champs Cafe, and he's a Charlotte High graduate, so he is extra proud to wear the school spirit shirt along with the rest of the CHS staff on those special days. Next, we have Helen Berner, our administrative assistant at the Food Nutrition Services office. Helen is wearing pink tonight. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we select one day in October to wear pink instead of our uniform shirt. We also offer a free pink cookie to our adult staff, and these free cookies are paid for by the professional development organization, our School Nutrition Association of Charlotte County. Debbie Munns, our manager at Myakka River Elementary, is wearing our standard melon-colored Champ shirt with our cute embroidered broccoli logo. And Martha Heisel, one of our Charlotte High Food Service assistants and a finalist for School-Related Employee of the Year just a few years ago, is wearing our red Champ shirt with the embroidered can of green beans character. If vegetables are that important to our health and wellness, and if we want to encourage students to select them, then why not promote them every day as a logo on our uniforms? Although our uniforms are nearly 2 years old, they have held up well. We purchased them through Pride, the Prison Rehabilitative Industries Company. And our logos take on an even greater role during our annual Vitamins and Veggies Week in January, when we promote the nutrients found in each vegetable. We post the information, we make announcements, we run a Veggie Mania contest to see which school students are selecting the most servings of vegetables. These gals are both wearing their Veggie Mania hats, and these are even more reminders to our students and staff, because the staff are our role models, so that everyone will choose vegetables every day. Next, we have Penny Moyer. She's our purchasing specialist at the Food and Nutrition Service Office. Penny's wearing a red shirt and a Go Red badge tonight, and she represents our Go Red Day. Each February, the American Heart Association promotes this day to bring attention to heart disease as the #1 killer of women as well as men. We've given Go Red badges to our partners in child nutrition, our school nurses, so they too can promote awareness of heart disease. Don Buck is our operations manager, and he's here tonight to represent the reading celebration we conduct at our elementaries. For Dr. Seuss' birthday in March, you'll find the cashier wearing the Cat in the Hat's red and white hat, and you might find some school library books that feature kid-oriented recipes decorating the serving line. We also promote a Return Your Library Books Day every May, both on the menus and on the serving line, so that our students and parents are reminded to send those precious resources back to our schools so others can enjoy them. Once the FCAT is over, it's time to smile. Are we smiling? Smiling makes one think of the yellow smile button, so we celebrated Smile Day in March. And even my husband, a former media specialist, Randy Whitaker, and his mother, Wave Louise, are wearing the yellow tonight and wearing their smile buttons. So they've joined us to help us promote our marketing plan. We use our sign holders at the keypads near the cash registers to promote special events. Do you have it? Yeah. This is a plastic sign holder, and we just changed the signs in it. And it serves a dual purpose. It allows privacy as the students are entering their keypad number, and it also allows us the opportunity to share messages with the students. And this year, we gave a few lucky students a smile button to wear when our cash register lottery system randomly selected them as a winner. It kind of goes doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and then they know they've won. These buttons were provided by our School Nutrition Association. Oh, this Thursday, our staff will all be wearing green, and that's to remind students of Earth Day. And Mr. Jerry Olivo, our Assistant Superintendent of District Support Services, and a very fine Champs Cafe visiting server, is in green tonight. And that's to remind us of several things. One is our pride in our green schools. Also, our appreciation to the district's Good Green Gang, the members of our custodian teams, as well as Earth Day, the themes of reduce, reuse, and recycle. Thank you for being a part of our team tonight. I'm excited to introduce Ms. Sharon O'Neill. She's one of our star cashiers from Punta Gorda Middle School. During Dr. Widmeyer's Pay It Forward month, we promote Good Manners Week. Sharon is wearing a special Good Manners t-shirt that she herself purchased to wear to remind her customers of the importance of treating each other with respect by using please and thank you. And this idea was actually developed years ago with Martha. Wave, Martha. She and I were serving breakfast one morning, and I noticed that the high school kids were pretty much asleep and weren't really saying please and thank you. So I started kind of asking them to do that. And one girl said, what's this all about? And I said, well, it's Good Manners Day, just coming up with that on the spot. So she passed it back, and they started passing it back all the way up the line. And I said, oh, my God. They started then using that. And I thought, well, if this works for one serving line at one school, let's try it everywhere. So we've been doing it for a couple years now. We've actually expanded it to Good Manners Week, and I think it really has made a difference. We enjoy making contributions like that. Sometimes we focus on a theme day for food. Terry White, who's our school meals program assistant and current president of our School Nutrition Association, she's dressed for our upcoming Cowboy Day. Our student customers love to see the staff dress in costume, and we would love it if the costumes would encourage the customers to eat those baked vegetarian beans on that day. Vicki Tuttle, our assistant manager at Port Shaw High and past president of our local School Nutrition Association, has joined us tonight to demonstrate another food theme day, Cinco de Mayo. We have to wear a hair restraint or a hat in the kitchen, but this is quite a hat. We enjoy promoting various food cultures such as Asian, Italian, Greek, Spanish, Latino, and Hispanic, to name a few. And I'll ask Penny Moyer to step forward again. For Child Nutrition Professionals Week, or Day, on May 6th, many of us are planning to wear this particular shirt. If you'll turn around, Penny. We want people to get the connection between Champs Cafe, healthy eating, and wellness. The back of the shirt says, eat better, play harder, live healthier, learn easier. Wellness is a way of life. And we're selling these shirts to our association members as a fundraiser, and then our funds go for a couple scholarships for graduating seniors. And I am dressed in our newest celebration, Peace Day. The true International Day of Peace is Sunday, May 16th, but we're going to celebrate in our schools on Friday, May 14th. The peace symbol is appearing on T-shirts, notebook covers, other novelties, more and more. We're going to take advantage of this universal theme of harmony to tie in the eating of the vegetable peas that day. Our theme will be, give peas a chance. And we'll be wearing our peas shirts, our tie-dyed scarves, our peas pins while we ask our students who we hope are eating peas to imagine world peas. It was good. It was good. I want to thank my staff that came in costume tonight. Thank you for your patience. We really appreciate the acknowledgement that you give for our child nutrition professionals. Thank you so much.
What a great staff we have with Champs Cafe. Thank you, Terry, and thank you, managers and staff, for all you do for kids. And I am imagining world peace. In fact, I just asked where I could get one of those aprons for my wife because she will love that. So thanks for all your good ideas and the things that you do for kids. It makes their day go so much better. We are, and I need to put my glasses on to see what this third report is. National Library Week. And Chris Bress, who is our Executive Director of Media and Learning Through Technology, is going to come forth. I think he's got a presentation for a few minutes, and then we have several of our media specialists here today. So, Chris, welcome.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gaylor, school board members. I wanted to start by saying that National Library Week was last week, and we have a proclamation, and I have some media specialists that have come to join me in reading the proclamation, and then we're going to tell you about some cool new things with respect to media that hopefully you're going to approve tonight. So it's a good time for us to tell it. So Bonnie Lewis from L.A. Ainger, Linda Bailey from Port Charlotte Middle, and Tracy Herman from Peace River Elementary School would please join me up here at the microphone. So you can be
National Library Week proclamation. Whereas libraries and school media centers everywhere play a vital role in supporting the quality of life in their communities.
Whereas our nation's school, academic, public, and special libraries make a difference in the lives of millions of Americans today more than ever.
Whereas librarians and media specialists are trained professionals helping people of all ages and backgrounds find and interpret the information they need to live, learn, and work in a challenging economy.
This one was a setup since they gave it to me. Whereas libraries serve as a crucial technology hubs for people in need of free web access, computer training, and assistance finding job resources.
Whereas libraries and school media centers are part of the American dream, places for opportunity, education, self-help, and lifelong learning.
Whereas library use is up nationwide among all types of library users, continuing a decade-long trend.
Whereas libraries, librarians, library workers, and supporters across America are celebrating National Library Week.
Now therefore be it resolved that CCPS proclaim National Library Week April 11th through the 17th, 2010. I encourage all residents to celebrate the wonderful library resources available in our media centers. Communities thrive at your library. So thank you very much to the media specialists. Next, I have a packet to hand out to each one of you. Tonight on the agenda is the Gale Electronic Resource Library that we are asking for you to pass. And when talking to Dr. Gaylor, I thought I would give just a little bit of background to what this really is, because it's unique in the way that resources have been delivered in the past. I have a couple of screens that I'll share with you as well. Please feel free to keep facing forward. I'll just be the voice behind you. What Gale Electronic Resources are electronic books that are available to all students everywhere within the school district. One of the interesting things about electronic text in comparison to normal books is that they can be viewed by multiple people simultaneously anywhere. So, for instance, if we were going to invest money and buy a research encyclopedia, and we bought one copy and we put it at one school, only one child at that one school could use it. But by buying some of these research books in electronic version, every child at that school can use the book simultaneously, while at the same time, every child at every school can use that book simultaneously, while every child that's homesick can use that book simultaneously, or when they're home doing their homework after hours. In the packet that I gave you, a little bit further in, you'll see that we have about a little over 380 titles that we're buying in an electronic format. We're buying them from Gale. Gale Publishing has put together this page for us so that when we direct our students to this link off of their school homepage as well as the district homepage, they can go in based on their grade level. So today I'll just go in as a middle school. And what's interesting about when they go in is the page opens up like this, and we have two things that are really fantastic, especially in the time of low budgetary pains. We will have access to a power search that will allow us to search those 380 resource topics simultaneously, or we can break them out and look at them based on subject area. But at the same time, they put links to the things that we currently own and want to promote within our school district. As an added feature, Gale throughout the entire state of Florida provides some online resources as well. So we put this as the one jump-off point for our electronic resources so that all students can get to all these different resources without having to hunt them down. So for instance, if we decided that we wanted to look at a science book, we could click on science and the page will load up, and you can see, now these are only some until they get the PO, then all of them that we've purchased will be listed. But right here you can see some titles that have already shown up. One is Beecham's Guide to Endangered Species of North America. So if I decide to go into that, it will open up a new window, and inside of it what happens is you get a resource. Now, inside, there's a link to what's called the electronic table of contents as well as a book index. But right here, you can already start to get some information. Some of the cool things that you can do with an electronic book that you might not be able to do normally in the library is you can print preview it, you can email it, you can download it. There's a citation tool. You can even download it as an MP3. So if you have an iPod or any type of MP3 player, it will read it to you in an electronic voice. Now, what's also kind of cool about this is, once again, there's no such thing as a lost or damaged book or the need to ever replace it. So that's also very cool. If we look at the e-table of contents, it'll look just like a normal type of table of contents, and it will list all the different things that you would find there. So if I go down and I say, let's look at mammals, I can open up mammals, and these are all different mammals that are listed in this book. Now, as a student, I could do a power search and have gone directly to it if I wanted to search for Florida panthers. Or if they just wanted to read through the book like they normally would, they could do it this way. So, let's see. We'll pick a grizzly bear. So as you click through these things, it opens up the book, and then it has the full text. What's nice about this is if they were reading the book, they would get exactly the same text, the exact same pictures and everything. And they also have the ability, if they would like, to click on the PDF. And what this does is it actually gives an accurate reproduction of what the book itself looks like. So if they had the book in front of them in real life, it would look like this. You can see the same layout, same page numbers, same everything, all the way down to all the references and citations at the bottom. So what this basically does is gives us 380 versions that can be read by 16,000 plus kids all simultaneously. And we truly believe that research books, this is a wonderful way to start looking towards the future. There's always going to be print books, always, because there's a kinesthetic feel to books and there's a need to hold and feel and read books, and they're very, very important. But as you move into electronic media and the ability to research, rather than just going to Google and not knowing if it's accurate or not, we've given them access to a wide variety of resources that we know are good and high quality. I'd be glad to answer any questions. Okay, thank you very much. Have a nice evening.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
All right, we have no old business, so we'll move on to item F, new business, number 1, the consent agenda.
Yes, ma'am, I'd recommend approval of the consent agenda as amended this evening.
So moved. Second. It's been moved and seconded that we approve the consent agenda as amended. Any discussion, Mrs. Messina?
Yes, I'd like to discuss just briefly the Gale Virtual Reference Library. Because I'm sitting watching what you're showing me there, Chris, and as the mother of a middle schooler and a high schooler, I can tell you that my house is filled with books. I have probably more books than most people in my own home, and my kids are always doing the virtual. That's where they get their information. It just is. And so the reality of the necessity of this is so valid, I can't even tell you. But as a mother, the little click that said citation, I can't even begin to tell you how much stress that is going to alleviate when they're having to do their bibliographies, because they do have some tools on the internet where you can do these bibliographies, but just that little click, ding, ding kind of thing will be wonderful. So I can absolutely tell you that this is going to be a well-utilized resource for kids in schools.
And how will the students access it from home?
It's a web page. So
okay.
They open up a web page, they can access from home, or if they don't have access, they can go to a public library or anywhere that they have internet access. And so that splash page will be something that we're going to advertise out, put on our district homepage, as well as on our Now window. You know, when you log in, that little window that opens up, so that they can double click and go right in from there. But from home, they'll access it off of our school district webpage.
Okay.
And I have a question, Chris. When provided the PO goes through tonight, when is it going to be accessible by students?
It was funny because I was talking to Dr. Gaylor about this, and he said, "Do you think this might be available by the end of the year?" And I said, since it's virtual, it might be ready by the end of the week. So as soon as they get this in, we can start advertising the links that are already there. All the other ones will just appear as soon as we can get them.
Right. And at what point do you start seeing utilization numbers?
I would say that we probably won't see as much utilization at the very end of the year because it's brand new.
Well, and the teachers don't really know how to use it yet either.
Right, exactly. And it was interesting. I met with the media specialist. I had my media hat on all day today, as I switched between them. And we discussed this, and hopefully we'll be bringing in some media specialists this summer to put together what we call like a commercial so that we can advertise it next year to encourage people to use it. We also recently put into place something called a wiki server. And I don't know how many of you are familiar with wiki servers, but it enables us to marry video and text. And so we hope to be able to put some instructional material together so that somebody from home could have a walkthrough on how to use it. Mm-hmm. So once we do that, I would say maybe after the first 9 weeks or at the first semester, we can take a good metric to see how much it's being used.
I think it's great.
Great. It's very exciting. Any other discussion or questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next, we have item F2A, categorical flexible spending resolution.
Did we vote on the consent agenda?
Yes.
Okay. We just did. Okay. Yes, ma'am. This categorical flexible spending resolution is a result of the legislation that occurred 1 year ago in the 2009 legislative session, where, due to the budget, the legislature allowed districts to use categorical funds for their general fund in certain areas, student transportation, safe schools, and so forth. We did that, of course, and they require that at some point during the school year after March 30th that we approve a resolution indicating that we, in fact, did that. So this resolution is before you this evening, and I would recommend approval.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the categorical flexible spending resolution. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item F2B, the budget amendments for 2009-10.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. And I'll ask our Chief Budget Officer, Fran Brasser, to come to the podium and take you through these three budget amendments. As you know, we had quite a number of budget amendments last board meeting, and these are the follow-up to that. Fran?
Thank you, Dr. Gaylor. You have three budget amendments before you tonight. One of them is the capital outlay, which we talked about. We are updating that, bringing it in current. If you look at that, you'll see that we have brought in the bonds, the construction bonds that relate to Lemon Bay High and Meadow Park Elementary School, $60 million. Hopefully, Mr. Reiner will sell those within the next month or so, and we'll have that money available. There's just some other small changes there. We've increased our transfer from the Capital Improvement Fund to the Hurricane Fund to help cover additional costs not additional costs, but costs of the construction at Charlotte High School, our portion of those costs. The second budget amendment you have here is related to the Hurricane Recovery Fund. And again, it's just bringing that up to date. It's showing the transfer coming in for the costs of the increase in the transfer of funds to the cover Charlotte High School, and a small increase in the insurance proceeds that we're also estimating. And the last fund is the Special Projects Center Fund, and again, this is just bringing it up to date for various items. Most apparent is the lapse money that we anticipate recovering from unfilled positions and so forth for that fund. Just trying to bring those up to date for administrators and so forth in the school board. And that pretty much covers the budget amendments, unless you have any specific questions.
Any questions? Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you, Fran. I recommend approval of the 2009-10 budget amendments 7, 8, and 9.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the budget amendments for 2009-10, budget amendments 7, 8, and 9. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item F2C, the 404 Hazard Mitigation, Post, Buckley, Shoe, and Jernigan, Task 5. Dr. Gaylor.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. 5.5 years ago, we entered into a contract with PBS&J for a variety of things, but one of those things was to work us through the hazard mitigation grants that we got through the Federal Emergency Management Agency, otherwise known as FEMA. This simply is a request for an extension of time for PBS&J to work through the paperwork with FEMA. So all of our work is done, completely done, but this is an extension of time agreement, and we may even have another one come before you at a future board meeting. So I would recommend approval of this 404 Hazard Mitigation Task Order number 5 with PBS&J.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the hazard mitigation with Post, Buckley, Shoe, and Jernigan, Task 5. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. We have removed item F2D, so we move on to item F2E, Lemon Bay High School remodel, renovation, and new construction, Phase 1. Dr. Kaler.
Yes, ma'am, and Mr. Greiner had certainly better sell those bonds because we are requesting approval of the contract amendment with Balfour Beatty. Happy to see Alan Silver here tonight with Balfour Beatty.
Hi, Alan.
And this is just the first amendment to the contract for Phase 1, and this is the site work for stormwater management, systems infrastructure, mechanical piping, and this GMP is for $3.3 million and some change, and we're very pleased to bring that to you this evening. Jerry, did you have anything you wanted to add to that? Or Alan? Okay. Well, we're just happy to bring this to you because we plan to start the construction literally as soon as kids leave at the end of May. So we need to get this into place so that we can get all of our plans and construction equipment out there to Lemon Bay and get ready to go. So I would recommend approval of the Lemon Bay High School remodel, renovation, and new construction Phase 1 Amendment number 1 for the GMP of $3.3 million with Balfour Beatty.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the Lemon Bay High School remodel, renovation, and new construction Phase 1 Amendment number 1 for a guaranteed maximum price of $3.3 million. Any discussion, Mrs. Messina?
Yes, we cannot start quickly enough. And Greg, when will we hear about those bonds? I'm telling you, I get messages on my answering machine. Andrea, are they sold? Are they sold yet? So.
Not sold yet, and we will get something out to you as quickly as we know something. At this point, we don't have a firm timeline on exactly when those bonds will.
But we will definitely know before the scheduled groundbreaking, correct? Don't mock me. Okay. All right. Well, we're looking forward to it. The entire community is looking forward to it. And if we're not out there breaking ground, they're going to break it for us. So.
Mr. Swift.
I know that former board member, county commissioner, and supervisor of elections, Mac Horton, had intended to be here tonight to voice his support for this and to share his enthusiasm, and unfortunately he was not able to get here in time. But I know, as Mrs. Messina has just described, that the people in Englewood are very excited about this happening, and as well as the Meadow Park community for their share of the project funds. So it's going to be an exciting couple of weeks until we get the final word. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
You're welcome. Any other comments or questions? Then, with great pleasure, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item F2F, the transfer of bus title to Charlotte County Family YMCA.
Yes, ma'am. As you know, each year we normally have buses that are surplus, and if one of our community agencies, not-for-profit community agencies who has an affiliation with our district, requests a surplus bus, we try to accommodate them. This year the YMCA of Charlotte County is requesting a bus, and I think they have a really good plan here for use of this bus. It's really going to help us out, actually, because of the move of Meadow Park Elementary School temporarily to East. We have a child care issue with a lot of parents needing to pick up their kids and have their kids transported from child care after school back up to the Port Charlotte area. The YMCA is going to use this bus for that purpose. They're going to actually transport the kids back up to their Edgewater facility, making a central location for parents in the Port Charlotte area to pick up their kids after school in the after-school care program. So we are happy to provide them with a surplus bus if we have one, and Richard indicates that we do plan to have one this year. So I'd recommend this transfer of bus title to Charlotte County YMCA, and it is a surplus bus, by the way.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we transfer the bus title of a surplus bus to Charlotte County Family YMCA. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next, we have item F2G, updates to the concurrency service areas. Dr. Gaylor.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. As a result of our school board workshop on May the 10th and changes to the interlocal agreement, or the ILA as it's known, we've changed the concurrency areas for elementary schools to correspond directly with their attendance areas, which takes into account the distinct possibility of us having empty seats in one part of the county that we'd have to redistrict a number of schools to take care of in another part of the county should we need to have that done as a result of some development. So we think this is a very, very good update to our concurrency service areas, and I would recommend approval of this update this evening.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the updates to the concurrency service areas. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item F2H, the change to schedule of the 2009-10 school board meeting dates.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. And this actually is one suggested by our school board attorneys, as we needed to have a school board meeting on May 3rd to whittle down the list of your superintendent candidates to whatever number you wish to interview. That actually needed to be a board meeting rather than a workshop. So we're setting that as a board meeting, and also the time, which is 9 o'clock. And then changing the time of the May 27th meeting, which is your selection meeting, to 5:30 p.m. And I would recommend approval of these changes in dates and times as recommended this evening.
Move approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we make the changes as described by the superintendent to the 2009-2010 school board meeting dates and times. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item F2I, personnel action. Dr. Gaylor.
So I'd simply recommend that we approve the personnel action item as presented to you this evening.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve personnel action as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next we have citizen comment. Ms. Smith, is there any citizen wishing to address us?
No, ma'am, we have none.
Okay. Thank you. Attorney comment. Ms. Young?
I would like, on behalf of the Leadership Charlotte Class of 2010, thank the district for a great Education Day last 2 weeks ago. We had a wonderful host in Mr. Riley, and great transportation by Mr. Duckworth, and it was really nice to sit down with a group of, with the board and the superintendent, assistant superintendents, and our lovely group of fine young leaders. And many people said on the ride back to the cars that it was their favorite day of the leadership program.
Good. Oh, wonderful.
Enjoyed it. And please come to the Leadership Charlotte Bourbon Street Bash, our fundraiser for the Charlotte Symphony's children's music program, May 22nd. Tickets available at charlottecountychamber.org.
Thank you. And we do appreciate what that will do for our students as well.
Yes.
Leadership Charlotte has been very good to the students of Charlotte County in a lot of different projects that they've undertaken. Next we have board member comment. Mrs. Rendell.
Thank you. And speaking of Leadership Charlotte, when we were there last week at Neil Armstrong, the principal, Angie Tellin, gave us a brochure that I don't know who put together, but it's very well done. And having just put one together for the superintendent's brochure, right, all of us are familiar with what we're looking for in a brochure, and it is an absolutely excellent brochure. And if you didn't know Neil Armstrong was an elementary school, you would think by what was offered to the students that it was a high school that they were talking about, with 18 different clubs that the students can join, 10 different family events that happen throughout the year. There's character development opportunities, leadership opportunities for the students, community outreach opportunities, and the whole theme has to do with leadership. So I know all the board members received one of these, and if you have not looked it over, please really give it a close look. It's a beautifully produced brochure. And I would like to thank Governor Charlie Crist for vetoing SB 6. I am pleased that he listened to the people of Florida, the teachers, the school board members, administrators, superintendents, and everybody around the state. I'm glad he listened. I'm glad he actually read the bill, and I think if you read his letter to Secretary of State Browning, you'll see that he really did read and ponder the ramifications of the bill and decided that it was not the right thing to do to pass it, and so he withheld his approval. And I know I wrote a short email to him to thank him, and it was the right thing to do, and I'm proud to say he did it. And I'm a little disappointed that our local delegation, with the exception of Senator Ehrenberg, did not vote against it. So Senator Ehrenberg did vote against SB 6, and our other local delegation members did vote for it. So sorry and disappointed about that, but maybe we can get our act together next year, because we all know it's going to be coming back. SB 6 will be coming back in some form or fashion, so at least we have a reprieve for this year, and we can work together. And that was it was the only good thing I think that really came out of this bill, is that everybody really worked together for it. Everybody worked so hard to hope that the governor would veto it. At first, the members of the House and Senate to vote it down, and since they did it, we all worked on the governor, and it worked. So the process does work. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Miller.
Yes, I also had some comments about the Leadership Charlotte and Leadership Englewood. They were about a week apart, and there were so many good comments made. It's a shame we don't have more people that can do this the way it was done. We have CSS, and we've had good response to that. We just need more people to be involved all the time to see what's happening in the schools. And I believe that Mike Billington was part of the Leadership Englewood this time, and he wrote an article about it, and he was very impressed. And just a few things. It says, given that I was amazed, which is not too strong a word in this case, when I walked into the classroom at Myakka River Elementary, and he talked about the third grade students reading to kindergarten students. They were book buddies. And then they were able to put PowerPoints together to present their kindergarten book buddies. They mentioned the tech center and the culinary arts, and they mentioned the aeronautical program there. He also mentioned that it says later at Lemon Bay High School, my jaw dropped at the amazing art on display in the media center. Art classes at my high school pretty much consisted of learning to mix colors and do simple drawings. The artwork on display at Lemon Bay High School was gallery quality. L.A. Anger and later Englewood Elementary, we were treated to so many examples of top-flight educational practices and the seamless integration of technology into the learning process that we almost couldn't take it all in. And it just goes on, and he raves about the visit. Also, this Friday, and Greg, will you be there? It's Meadow Park, and it's their Friday the 23rd from 5 to 7. They're going to hold their annual Family Fun Day, and this will be the opportunity to take one last walk through the existing Meadow Park building, we hope. Okay? It could be a fun evening, and I think it shows everyone's excited at Meadow Park also. Thank you. That's it, Madam Chairman.
Thank you. Mrs. Messina.
Thank you. I want to start with peas tonight because I know you identify Mr. Swift with broccoli, but what you may not know is that peas are my favorite vegetable, and I cannot go to a family function without my brothers and sisters reminding my children how I used to eat pea sandwiches growing up, and so I'm right there with you on the peas. So I'll be supporting your pea efforts at all costs. I also want to share that I have had successful first use of the employee health clinic with a dependent child. So any of you who were concerned about that, it worked smoothly, and we were in and out. I called, made the appointment in and out before even 8:30 in the morning. So I just want you to know it worked well. And then finally, I have one of the responsibilities that was delegated to me when we began the superintendent interview or superintendent search process, was that I would compile a list of interview questions. And so I have a draft that I'd like to distribute to board members tonight so that when we have our next workshop, board members can have had an opportunity to look at some of these questions, if they have any recommendations for updates or if they want to see some eliminated or for discussion purposes for the next workshop. So I will simply distribute those here, and I did not stamp draft on it, but if you could write draft on it, I would appreciate it. That's all for me tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Swift.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. One of the exciting things to me about I was not able to be here for the Leadership Charlotte, was here for the Leadership Englewood group. The number of people that said they thought they were pretty familiar with what went on in our school system and in our programs, and to say that they were surprised and at the variety and the depth of programming that we have. That was very gratifying to hear, and that they learned a tremendous amount from those days. As you know, I've just returned from attending the National School Board Association meeting in Chicago. We had some very exciting breakout sessions and programs that the biggest problem I have with this meeting is there's so many good ones, and it's impossible to get to all the things that you would like to get to. But we had a couple of keynote speakers that were very interesting and entertaining. Wynton Marsalis, the jazz trumpeter, did an excellent presentation, about an hour and 15 minutes, interspersed with some music on the importance of music education and arts education in the public schools, and kind of traced the history of both. It was, again, very entertaining, and as well as the presentation by Steve Wozniak, one of the co-founders of Apple Computer, a certified nerd, but very.
How would you know that, Mr. Swift?
I know a couple, but an entertaining speaker, passionate about giving children the freedom to explore their minds and explore the opportunities that are around them. And lastly, to echo Mrs. Rendell's comments about Senate Bill 6, it was very gratifying. If you have not looked at the FSBA website for Wayne's weekly video update, there is some footage of a rally done at Leon High School with the governor speaking about the bill. I heard as recently as today that it looks like there's going to be some sort of committee formed. What the makeup of it is going to be, we don't know yet, and I should find out some more this weekend. I have to be in Tallahassee for a meeting on Monday. But the key to this was the alliances that the School Board Association, the Florida Association of District School Superintendents, were key in forming, and critical to this was the Florida PTA. Their support and their network of contacts throughout the state, again, was very important. And I attended the block party on Saturday, and the number of people that came up to me and spoke positively about the veto, non-education people, members of the city council, county commission, citizens that I know, all thought that the right thing had been done. And I think we've got a great opportunity coming up to shape what will be a version of this for next year. And I'm looking forward to see how the makeup of the group is going to be. I forwarded, I think, to all of you some information about how Tennessee had gone through their process and how collaborative and how broad-based their groups were. And I'm hoping that the same kind of thing is going to happen this week. I know there's going to be some discussions with the governor's staff about how this group is going to be put together, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the results are going to be. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Thank you, sir. And I would certainly echo similar comments on the governor's veto of that bill, and want to publicly thank our local Chamber of Commerce. The State Chamber of Commerce supported Senate Bill 6, but our local Chamber of Commerce, after hearing a presentation by Mrs. Messina at Government Affairs, voted to support our local school board, and that's a partnership that is very valuable to us and we appreciate very much. I want to congratulate our Head Start and Early Head Start program. They have been recognized the 2010 Florida Head Start Association Image Award for excellence in service to the children, families, and communities in Florida. So congratulations to all those at Baker for once again being recognized for the great work that you do. And Deep Creek Elementary, as hard as it is to believe, because I remember those sister schools being built, is celebrating 20 years tomorrow.
How about that? Yeah.
It just takes takes my breath away that we could have passed that many years. And then, of course, I look at Meadow Park. I will be there Friday as one who spent many, many years as a parent and a SAC member and a substitute teacher at Meadow Park. I will be going through and reminiscing on Friday before we say goodbye to the old gal who needs to go. So, look forward to that. Dr. Gaylor, superintendent comments.
We're going to miss that sunken living room, aren't we?
Oh, yeah.
Actually, that is the part we're going to miss.
It really is.
Yeah, it's the wandering walls that are really.
Just a sad note, as many of you knew, Sharon Campbell, who passed away a few days ago, and of course she's worked with us since 2003, worked as a secretary at Charlotte High School and a bus attendant for 2006 and 2007, and for the last 3 years has worked as a paraprofessional for exceptional students at Charlotte Harbor, and she certainly will be missed. I know she leaves her family and a young 12, 13-year-old son behind as well, so we are keeping her in our thoughts and prayers. Just each of you has noted Senate Bill 6, and it's really worthy of many more comments and in many ways. I just want to say in follow-up that it wasn't so much the conceptual framework surrounding performance pay or teacher assessments as it was the manner in which the bill was created and put forth. Many of us who grew up in the 60s are rebellious to some degree, and I know even before and after that, but we hate for somebody to say, when we want your opinion, we'll give it to you. And that's exactly what happened with Senate Bill 6. We didn't appreciate that. Parents didn't appreciate it. Teachers didn't appreciate it. Board members didn't appreciate it. Superintendents didn't appreciate it. And a wide variety of other citizens, as Mr. Swift indicated, that aren't even affiliated with education could see through that. I just want to also say that I know that if we let any grass grow under our feet and don't actually begin to craft good bill language that has a collaborative effort in back of it with a wide variety of stakeholders in education, including students, I think, that bill or some derivation of it will be back with a vengeance, and it will probably pass. So we need to really work on that, and I've committed to do that. Doug has committed, and Donna has committed to do that, Mr. Swift, and I know each of you, whatever way we can, through the committees that are formed, or the panels, or whatever input they need. We just simply need to do that. But more importantly, we need to make sure that we push that it happens and not hope that somebody else is going to. So I'm going to commit to keep calling Bill Monford every week and making sure that we're either on the committee or we have good superintendents that are representing us, and not let that fall until maybe November, December when it's too late. So we really need to keep that in front of us. And I know you know it, but the month of May is fast approaching, and you have a schedule that I don't envy, and I have a schedule that I don't envy either, but you have an even bigger one because you have all of the interviews to conduct with the superintendent candidates. So all the end of the year activities, the board meetings, the workshops that we have, and your interviews with the candidates are going to take a great deal of time during the month of May. So having said that, if you need a pep talk, if you need some extra vitamins, come and see me. I'll help you out. I'll do whatever I can. I'll drive you around. But rest up, because it's going to be a pretty heavy May. A good May, but a pretty heavy May. That's all I have, Madam Chairman.
Thank you, sir. And as hearing you talk on the subject of Senate Bill 6, I'm thinking it would be a good idea. I know we've already, all of us have had contacts or whatever, but maybe we need to send a letter from us, the board, to all of our local delegation, reminding them that we do have people in this district who are very well versed on the issues that would be discussed.
Since I'm the legislative liaison person, I will take the lead on that if everyone agrees. And I did make myself a note that when the session is over and they're back home, I want to go ahead and have an appointment ready to meet with them and kind of review the issues so that when they go back up there, they are well informed.
Good. All right. Then, meeting adjourned. Thank you.